Hello and welcome to another Tuesday talk. And today I've got Laura Wright with me. Hi, Laura.
Hello. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Are you?
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
And we're going to talk a little bit about the Alpha course.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, which is something I know that you've been doing over recent months, been doing it online with us.
I have, yeah.
Yeah. So did you know what the Alpha course was before you actually started?
I'd heard of it, so I knew that there was an Alpha course, but I thought it was for men, with it being called Alpha. Like,
Now come on, you need
yeah,
to explain that a bit more. You thought it was men because it was called Alpha. Come on.
yeah, like alpha male kind of thing. So I think you'd mentioned it a few times,
Yeah.
to Joe, my husband, and whenever it was mentioned, I think both of us just thought, all right, it's like a group for men. So never really questioned it, and then I think you mentioned it as this new course was starting, and obviously I'd looked up, I'd seen it advertised, I think, on like Holy Trinity Brompton, and I'd looked at it and I thought, oh, it's not just for men. So I remember texting you and asking if I could do it, and I think I was a little bit late in the day. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks into it, wasn't it? But yeah, I was able to join, so that was good.
Yeah. Brilliant, yeah, and I love that, the alpha male thing, yeah.
Which sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But for somebody that doesn't know, like, to me, that's the first thing I thought.
Absolutely, and if nothing else, we've dispelled that myth now. Yeah,
Not just for men, lots of women as
it's
well.
not just for men; it's for men and women, definitely. So now we've got rid of the "it's just for men" thing. How would you describe Alpha to someone who'd not done it?
I'd say it's interesting. I'd say it gives you a chance to ask questions that perhaps you hadn't thought about before, and I think it's helps you to explore Christianity and explore the idea of faith and what it all means, I suppose. Sorry, I've just got James here. Probably close the door. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so I think, yeah, just a way to ask big questions that perhaps you haven't thought about.
Yeah. So, I mean, can you think of any examples of questions that?
So we did a session on what is evil and kind of like the whole concept of evil. And I think there was a session on, who was Jesus, why did he die? Just like very in-depth things that you wouldn't really think about as you go through your day-to-day.
Yeah. So it's giving you permission to explore those things that you wouldn't normally be able to. And what about the format of it? Is it just discussion or?
No, so they have the videos. They have like 20-minute videos at the beginning of each session, which introduces the concepts, and that kind of like sets the tone for the discussion and the conversations that arise and the questions that arise. So I find those quite interesting and quite good. And then they usually they usually have some like really interesting examples as well of like, people from the past, like historical figures or whatever, that kind of explores it further. So yeah, no, I think it's a good format because it kind of like, it gives you a way in through the videos, and then it's kind of like a free-for-all after that, and any questions that come up are like, we pose these questions at you, and then we expect you to answer them, or we expect other people to answer them, but mostly you.
So there's plenty of questions that get fired, yeah. And all this is taking place online. So does it work doing it that way?
I think so. I mean, obviously, I haven't done I hadn't sort of experienced the kind of like face-to-face element. But I feel like when you're talking over Zoom or like an interface, whatever, I feel like it perhaps helps you to like break down those sort of barriers quicker. So that, because I think like people are quite open and they ask, you know, lots and lots of different questions. I think everybody has their own opinions, and I think like they're very willing to share them. So I think it works. Yeah. I mean, obviously, do you think it's different to what?
It's massively different. Yeah, I thought I was doing the interviewing, but anyway, it's massive.
You've got the experience of the face-to-face, haven't you? So you probably know that.
Yeah, it's massively different to that. But I have to say that I think it has worked really well, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think it's encouraged people to ask questions maybe that they wouldn't have asked if they'd been sat in a room with one another. So
yeah, definitely. I don't think there's that barrier, is there? And it's just things. And I remember saying at the beginning of it to you, saying, "Oh, you know, don't judge me if I ask any silly questions." Remember? And I think like, really, there aren't any silly questions. Everybody has their own questions, and it doesn't matter what it is. Like, everything's valid. So that's quite
absolutely, nice. Yeah. I mean, the questions have been great. They have. Some of them have been really tough.
Kept on toes.
Well, that's good. So I'm getting the sense that you have enjoyed it. Would I be right in that?
Yeah, no, I have enjoyed it, yeah. And I think it just made me like see things a bit more broadly, I think. It's been nice chatting to everybody in the group. And I've come to look forward to it, actually, on a Wednesday, you know, and it's like, oh yeah, I've got Alpha tonight. And it helps, actually, that I don't have to leave the comfort of my house. Show up in my onesie.
Yeah. So this is another advantage of doing it online. Yeah.
Maybe you should do this going forward, Rod.
Well, we're hoping to do another one from September onwards. Yeah. So, what have you liked the most then? Because you know, I'm hearing all sorts of positives. But what's been the best part of it?
I think it's helped me to sort of think more deeply about things and sort of, it's helped me develop a feeling in my faith, because I feel like, you know, I feel like I'm a Christian. I've always been a Christian, but it's helped me understand a bit more. And also I think it's the people as well. It's been really nice, like talking to everybody and getting their sort of outlook on things, which you don't always tend to be able to do, especially with those kind of questions. Like, they aren't the kind of thing that you probably discuss in everyday life. So it's nice to sort of have that format. To do that.
I mean, saying that, you know, it's helped you. Can you give an example of what you've got from it specifically?
I think it's helped me to feel like I can explore my faith a bit more and like understand that at the heart of it, I know it sounds ridiculous, but the heart of it is like, you know, you believe in Jesus and you believe in Christ. And I think in one of the sessions it said something like about Christianity. It said, what did it say? I'm trying to remember now. It just said that obviously Christ, it's not, there's evidence, and I think I'm one of those people that perhaps would want answers to everything, and I ask loads of questions and I expect the answers, and like, I think it's made me realise that there is evidence of Jesus existing, and if you believe that he exists and you believe that he did those things, then that kind of like inherently leads you to believe as a Christian. You know what I mean? As a Christian, yeah. But then. Am I explaining? I don't know if I'm explaining myself.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I think what you're saying is you don't have to throw reason and intelligence out of the window.
I think,
you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember us having a conversation where I basically wanted, I was asking all these questions, and I just wanted all this knowledge, and it's not really about that. I think it's about just having like that belief and that faith without seeing everything. Do you know what I mean? Because it's sort of like beyond comprehension, I suppose, isn't it? I'm babbling a bit, Raj.
So we will discover more as we go along. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's a basis, and then you kind of like learn as you go along. Yeah.
So what difference then do you think it's made to you on your Christian journey?
I think it's made me be more open. I think it's made me think more about some of the bigger questions, and think more about other people really, and want me to do more, and contribute, I suppose, and not be so sort of insular in my thinking and in my actions.
Mm-hmm. So when you say do more, what does that look like? In terms of Christian involvement.
I think just rather than focusing solely on sort of my family unit, being open to helping and contributing in any way that I can, and just being considerate, and I suppose that's what it means to me at the moment.
Mm-hmm. I mean, is there anything specific that you've taken on doing as a result of?
So I'm helping with the Rosendale food box, the Edgeside food box at church, which is good. And I think like everybody's taken on a certain role. There's a group of volunteers that are helping with that and trying to sort of aid the community and people that are in need. So I feel like that's something that perhaps I wouldn't have done if I hadn't have done Alpha. Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, no. I think that as you go deeper, you do take on more commitment, and I think that's just a natural product of discovering more about what this thing that we call the Christian faith is all about. Yeah. So would you recommend that people have a go at the Alpha course? As I said, we're going to run it again online in September onwards. So what would your recommendation be?
Yeah, I would say have a go of it. I don't think there's any particular pressure in terms of of anything really. I think that everybody comes from a different starting point. And some people might not have any experience of Christianity or faith or anything like that, and I think it just gives an opportunity to kind of voice questions that you might have thought about and want answers to. Might not necessarily get the answers.
Well, I hope I managed to answer at least some of the questions.
Yeah, no, cool.
and Lindsay as well.
Yeah. Good duo.
We try, yeah. And if someone was thinking of doing Alpha, what one sentence do you think you'd say to them to give them that little impetus in the end?
Give it a go. Can't hurt, can it?
I love that. That sounds brilliant. Give it a go. It can't hurt. Yeah. So I suppose as we draw this to a close, as I always say on Alpha, have you got a final word for us then?
What's my final word? I think thank you for running the course, and I think we've got a few more sessions left, haven't we? So hopefully,
yeah,
hopefully we can explore a bit further and give you a bit of a run for your money in terms of the questions we've come up with.
I think you're probably going to put your heads together and see if you can come up with difficult ones. Yeah, no, not at all. But it's been, from my perspective, a real delight to do. So thank you for your part in it, and thank you for being with me on Tuesday Talk.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Cheers,
See you
Rob.
soon. Right. Bye.
Bye.